Mechanics of writing. This video is about the mechanics of writing, the different mechanism of writing. We will talk about those mechanics that are involved in writing. Mechanics of writing. Mechanics of writing refer to the conventions and rules that govern the technical aspect of language. So these are rules. These are rules that are used, employed while writing anything. Paying attention to these mechanics is crucial for effective communication and for producing clear, professional, and grammatically correct written content. If we want to convey clear message, we want to make a content that is grammatical correct, that has a professional tone or clear message, we must follow some rules, some mechanics. Number one, spelling. Spelling of the words. Use of correct spelling of all words, proofread carefully, or use spell check tools to catch errors. Because sometimes use of different words or different spellings confuses a word. For example, take red. There are two words, red, and one is average red and second is red, red. So both are pronounced similarly. So if you write this one, it would mean color and it would mean second form of past of verb. So taking care of spellings is very important while writing clearly. Next one is grammar. Follow the rules of grammar to ensure that sentences are structured correctly. Pay attention to subject-verb agreement, proper use of pronouns, and consistent verb tenses. So when you are using writing language, you must be careful that the verb and subject agreement is correct, is right. If subject is singular, it is followed by the singular verb. For example, he writes, she writes, we do, they do. Okay, this is known as subject-verb agreement. Proper use of nouns. If you are using third person, keep it in third person. If you are using first person, be consistent with a consistent verb tenses. It has been seen that students start with the past and they end with the present, or they keep on shifting from present to past. So take care. If you are using past tense, it must be past throughout the document, and if you are using present, it must be present. So if you are using past, use present only when it is necessary or it is used for universal truth. Otherwise, be consistent with the tense. Next one is punctuation. Punctuation is again very important. Use punctuation marks appropriately to clarify meanings and guide readers. The use of commas, periods, semicolons, colons, apostrophe, quotations, etc. They must be used carefully or properly, otherwise meanings may be changed. Let's have an example. Let's eat grandmother. What does it mean? Come, we will eat mother, grandmother. So here others are being invited to eat grandmother, to eat grandmother. If we place comma over here, let's eat grandmother. So here grandmother is being invited to come for eating, to join eating. So meaning has been changed. Similarly, there is a sentence, women without her man is nothing. If we place comma, meaning would be changed. Women without her man is nothing. And if we place comma, women without her man is nothing. So meaning would be changed. In one sentence, man is nothing without women. In the second sentence, women is nothing without men. Next one is capitalization. Using of capital letters. Capitalize the first word of a sentence, proper noun, title, and significant words in the title. Be consistent in capitalization throughout the document. Social media has also affected our life, and one of its effects is seen in the writing. Students write without taking care of capital letters. Be careful that initial or first letter of each sentence must be capital. And if there is proper noun, take care of it, that letter is capital. Or title of different books, they must be in common. This is a very common mistake. Students use it. Grammatically, it's wrong. Paragraph structure. Start a new paragraph for each new idea or topic. Use identification or spacing to indicate paragraphs. A paragraph should have one idea. It should have around about 7 to 8 lines. Generally, the first line of each paragraph is known as its hook that tells about the paragraph. If you are going to, you have different ideas, use different paragraphs for different ideas. Instead of making an amalgamation of different concepts, use it separately. And there must be distance between two paragraphs. It must be identified. Either it would be intended or there should be a space, so that the paragraphs must be identified. Sentence structure. Next mechanism for writing is sentence structure. Write clear and well structured sentences. Avoid run-on sentences and fragments. The sentence must be short. They must have a clear structure. One sentence should have one idea. So there must be relation between two sentences. There must be connection, cohesion and coherence, but run-on sentence must be avoided. Next one is subject-verb agreement. Ensure that subject and verb agreement. Take care of the verb-subject agreement. For example, if there is a subject is singular, the verb must be singular. For example, they must have, they must be followed by have or do or were, and singular, he, she should have a singular verb. For example, he has, she writes, so she does. This must be done carefully. Tense consistency. As told in the previous slides, keep consistency in the verbs or make it logical. If the sentence is being passed, it must be in past throughout, unless there is a universal truth or some real factors. There must be a logical reasoning between the shifting of sentences. Instead of shifting from present to past or past to present, use one sentence, one tense throughout the writing. Active voice. Use active voice to make sentences clearer and more direct. Passive voice can be used in specific cases, but active voice is generally preferred. Word choice. Choose words carefully to convey your intended meaning. Avoid vague or ambiguous meanings. There are some words that have, you can say, dual meanings. Sometimes replacing one word with other changes the meaning completely. So the word must not be ambiguous. They must have a clear and, you can say, loud message. Conciseness. Be concise and avoid unnecessary words. Aim clarity and precision in your writing. Instead of making long sentences, be concise and use only necessary words. Avoid words that make ambiguity or make confusion. Be precise and short. Only there must have a balance between the concept and words. ना ज़्यादा ना कम, हर चीज़ मिज़ान में अच्छी लगती है. Parallel structure. This is another important factor that must be kept in mind. Ensure that items and list elements in a sentence are grammatically parallel. This improves readability. For example, if we are writing we play, we enjoy, and work together. So here all the verbs have been used similarly. And if we say we like playing, enjoying, and working together. So if you are using ing, it must be throughout similar way. If you are using first form, it must be followed throughout the document. Quotation and citations. Use quotation marks for direct quotes and provide proper citations for borrowed words. And if there is word borrowed from Urdu or some other language, it must be written in italic. So it must be clear that this word doesn't belong to particular language. And if we are using some quotations, they must be cited properly and separated with the commas. Abbreviation and acronyms. As discussed previously in previous section, if you are using abbreviations or acronyms, use complete word in the beginning. Then you should start these acronyms or abbreviations. For example, if we use VASA, and some person who is not native might not be able to know what is meant by VASA. If we write VASA, W-A-S-A, then we would continue with VASA. So use complete name in the beginning and then write abbreviations or acronyms throughout the document. If we are using abbreviation or acronyms, use it throughout the document. If you are using complete name, use in the complete document. Don't go for complete name and abbreviations, complete name and abbreviation. This should not be done. Numbers. Next one is numbers. Follow the consistent style guide for writing numbers. Spell out the numbers and numeral for larger numbers and depending on the context. Generally up to 9, 1 to 9 are written as 1 to 9, and after more than 9 it may be written like TEN 10, EEL T20. So similarly, if the sentence is starting with a word, then it must be in words. Italic and bold. Use italic and bold for emphasis springly. Follow the style guideline of the specific rules or on when to use these formatting process. So italics and bold must be used when they are necessary. And different writing styles, different formats have different, you can say, rules. So follow those rules when you are writing. If you're following APA, use AP guideline. If you are using MLA or Chicago, then use the guideline respectively. Next one is consistent font. Use consistent font and font size throughout the document. If you are generally, it is used 12. Font is 12. So if it is 12, it must be 12 throughout the document. It should not be case that in the first paragraph there is font is 12. In the second it would be 11. It is 11, and on the next page it would be 14. So the font should be same size. Should be of the same size. Proofreading. Proofread your writing carefully before sending, submitting or publishing to catch any remaining errors or typos. When you have written document, make sure, read it thoroughly or check spellings with some software so that the document is error free. In the conclusion, you have learned that paying attention to the mechanisms of writing can ensure your writing is grammatically correct, clear, concise, and professional. I hope you have understood it. If you have any question, queries, please write in the comment box. Thank you. Take care.